Okay, we're back at the barn. That's obviously a little disappointing. Could have been better. Could have been worse. She idles fine. She moves fine. Gears are working fine. She's driving straight. We just have this oil issue. So under idle, it never had a problem. I drove it or had it plugged in with water here, gave it some gas, and it didn't have a problem here. So I'm not sure why that's happening. We'll get the code. Let's look at the oil again. Wipe that off. Let's see. I mean, it's got to have 4 quarts in there. So, what is our problem? It's so hard to tell with new oil. I mean, where it's at, I don't know. You know, is it low on oil? Is it not? I mean, I put a whole quart in there. I've got at least 3 quarts in it. I think quick Google said it takes 3.5, something like that. If I'm looking at this, I cannot tell at all if it's got oil or not. So also if let's try this. Let's put it in. And there's no oil. There was no oil marks in the water. There's no oil in here anywhere. The oil looks clean here. It's not milky. But it does. It looks like there's no oil in here. I mean, and if I wipe it, I'm only getting a little bit at the tip. So, could we really have that little oil in here? Maybe? I don't know. Right? Could it? I mean, where else would it? I don't know where it would be going. And that is so hard to tell on that dipstick where it is. So we don't have milky oil, which was an original problem. The oil pump on the back is new, wheel and the outer wheel and the inner wheel. The front one has a new wheel on the inside, but the outer wheel is actually it's melted into the plastic, so you'd have to get that whole front piece, which was like $350. It does have some scoring on it, but I didn't think it was too bad. You'd have to check one of the other videos to take a peek at it. I'm perplexed, right? I mean, there's not a lot of oil, but I mean, it looks right. Let's, it had the alarm and set oil, but let's check the code. I mean, if I look at this, I know I don't even know if you can see it, but it's really hard to see. It certainly looks like there's oil on there. So let's pause. I think to get the codes, we need the key, and then we hit like mode 3 times or something like that. Let me see what I got. Okay, set 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there we go. P517. I think that's the compass one. 1517. And that's it. Oh, excuse me. That's it. Okay, so no alarm for oil. All right, guys, so we have no oil in the bottom. We don't appear to have milky oil. There is no oil in the water, but I captured all the oil that I put in originally that was in here, and that was a decent amount of oil. I didn't check beforehand, but I checked the dipstick and made sure it was full. Then we go out running. We get the oil alarm. I go get oil. We put a quart of oil in there. Go out again, and it still alarms with oil. And if we look at the dipstick, it's really difficult to tell where it's at. All right. Let's put the dipstick in. See right there, it looks like it's full right there. I can't point at it with two hands, but right before that first curve, looks like where it is. So it looks full. So I'm gonna go out the service manual, see where the oil pressure sensor is, and we'll probably also just come back, plug water in it, run it, and see what happens. Until next time. All right, so we're back here, and if you caught our last video, we have an oil pressure warning. I didn't get the code because it cleared, but I'm pretty sure it's going to say low, and there's 3 places to look and 3 places that could be the problem, and one of them is not the same. So on the back right here, if we can see it, right in here, see if I can shine it, is our, there it is that silver, which is really hard to see, right there. So it's a silver thing, it goes into the side of the case, and there's one wire that goes to it. That is your oil pressure gauge sensor. Then here, you can take off this piece and test your head pressure for oil. And then over here at the front, there is another oil separator switch. Let me see, which is, where can I get it here? Which is that guy right there. So he's kind of hard to see in there. There he is. Right there. And then right there. Or I guess, where is he? Is that him? Where is he? Right there. Right there. Sorry. So let's see if I can get my finger on him. So he's, where's my finger? Right there. I get it to focus a little better, would be nice. And that's your oil separator pressure switch. So those are the 3 places you can test. This sensor could be bad. The sensor back here underneath could be bad. And then underneath the drive shaft down here, coming from the bottom, is a mechanical pressure release that has a spring in it. And as the pressure builds up, it opens up a little bit so you don't get too much pressure. And so if it's stuck open, we could have low pressure. And if it was stuck closed, we could say high pressure. Now, the alarm is going off, and the alarm does not trigger till you hit 2,500 RPM. So, and this guy runs fine at idle until we get out of the no wake zone. I give it a little bit of throttle, and alarm comes up immediately. So what we're going to do first, or I'm going to try to anyway, is take this guy off, and then we have to ground it out. And I have an oil pressure gauge to put on there and see what we read for oil pressure. If it's fine, then that guy is probably bad, which from reading groups is a possibility. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Of course, we're up on a trailer now because we were water testing, which is kind of a pain because I got the other jet ski right there. But get up on a chair, and I'm going to try and get to it from down up under the side. And it should be a 21 millimeter deep socket. I'm going to try that out and see what we get. Okay, so we had a 21 millimeter socket to take it out. It's right here. I'll try and read that number off. I did already order the parts. See if I steady my hand from shaking. There you go. 8656530. And then, you know, the adapter is pretty small, and I can't get my hand in there. I have to use a socket to get it. So what I'm doing is I put a magnet on the deep socket, and that's holding onto this lightly so that I can try and start threading it, and then I'll just let it go without dropping it in there somewhere. All right, the magnet was a glorious failure, so this time I just shoved a little bit of duct tape in the socket and then pushed the adapter in it so it's tight and won't fall out unless I pull it. The magnet was a bad idea. The adapter fell right down there as soon as I turn it upside down or it taps something. Spent another 30 minutes trying to get it out and find it, but it was magnetic, so at least I finally found it. So here we have the sensor, but we have that grounded out. So I'm guessing if it's closed, we're good. If it's too much pressure or not enough pressure, reach the limits, it becomes open. We have our, can't really see it, but we have our oil pressure gauge right here. And so now what we should see, and I have it hooked up to the water, and what we should see is we'll run it. We'll let it idle for a second, maybe warm up so we get the warm temperatures, maybe. And then we should see this go up. I believe it's 20 psi for idle, and then once we go over 2,500 RPM, it doesn't tell you till you get to 4,000, but it's around 30, 40 psi, I believe, and then all the way up to 50, 58, which is where that pressure regulator kicks in or doesn't let it go over 58. So I'm gonna fire it up and let it warm up for a second, and then we'll look. Or maybe I'll just even leave this on here while it's idling. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's fire it up. Not a good sign. All right, guys. Time to think. I just can't believe I don't have any pressure. I mean, this pump back here was just rebuilt. It just doesn't make any sense to me. This one on the front, you know, the oil separator, it has a new inner wheel, and it actually looked like I had a new outer wheel as well. It did. Okay, so a new inner and new outer, but the fascia on this plastic piece right here was scored a little bit on the flat side, and so that did not get replaced because this plastic piece goes all the way down. It's like 350, but oil pump in the new is, oil pump in the rear is new. Oil separator in the front is new. Wheel, inner wheel and outer wheel. I'm gonna have to test this, try and figure out how to test this, because I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. There's some oil coming out of it right here, and then when I picked this up, this was full of oil right here. Maybe it's just not working. I mean, I've used it before. I can probably test it somewhere on a different machine and see what it's got, but that would just be crazy to have no oil pressure. All right, see it. Okay, we got one more test, and then I may go back and look around a little bit more. So one of the things I was thinking is that if the pressure regulator, which is down below the drive shaft, is stuck open, at idle we may not be doing or generating any pressure with the oil pump. So what I'm going to do is we'll connect the pressure gauge back up, start it up, and I have the adapter still in there, so I'm just going to plug the pressure gauge in and give it some gas and see if we can't get anything read out of the pressure gauge. If it does start reading something with a high RPM, that means we are generating, or the pumps are working, but that pressure regulator is stuck open and just letting oil flow through instead of being closed and generating pressure and then opening when the pressure gets too high. So let's try that out. Here we go. that's got to be it. It's that pressure regulator stuck open. Well, I suppose that's it for this one, and next time we'll cover changing that guy out. Take care.